Hello, fellow mompreneurs. Welcome to the Real Moms Podcast, the go-to space for resilient entrepreneurs who are striving for abundant living. I'm your host, Shay Spitz, a mompreneur and a realtor here in Columbus, Nebraska. Are you a mom juggling the hustle of entrepreneurship, family life, and personal growth? Well, you're in the right place. On this podcast, we dive deep into the real, unfiltered stories of incredible women who are navigating the journey of mompreneurship. We'll celebrate the victories, share practical insights, and acknowledge that it's okay to face challenges along the way. Success isn't about the destination. It's about the journey and the growth we experience as we balance our careers and the chaos of family life. Whether you're a seasoned mompreneur or just starting on this exciting path, join me and our amazing guests as we explore what it truly means to be a resilient entrepreneur striving for abundant living. Get ready for real, raw, and remarkable conversations that will inspire and uplift you. Because here at the Real Moms Podcast, we believe in the power of community, authenticity, and the strength that comes from embracing the journey together. So grab your coffee, find a cozy spot, and let's dive into the world of mompreneurship. This is the Real Moms Podcast, where we celebrate the hustle, honor the struggle, and thrive as resilient entrepreneurs living abundantly. Welcome to another episode of Real Moms Podcast. I like to start every podcast off with a motivational quote, and today's quote is, if you want to be successful, you have to jump. There's no way around it. If you're safe, you'll never soar, and that is by Steve Harvey. So today I have Bri, who is a 31-year-old mother of 3, born and raised in a large family in Lincoln, Nebraska. Her interest in real estate began in middle school when she used to watch the classifieds before bed. In her free time, she enjoys working out and spending time with family and friends. So Bri, thank you so much for being here and taking time out of your day.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Okay, so tell me a little bit about your kids. So you got 3 kids. I have 3 little ones as well. What are the ages of your children?
5, 16 months, and then 2.5 weeks.
Oh my goodness. So they're real little.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Are you on like maternity leave right now?
I mean, most would be on maternity leave, but I still have work that's being done, but I do it from home. So it's still a maternity leave. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think as an entrepreneur and especially as a real estate agent, when I had my youngest, she's now she's gonna be 5 in September. I'll never forget. We got home on a Saturday and I was showing homes on Monday and she was coming with me. I mean, all the things. So it just never stops, does it?
No, it does.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So they're pretty young. So going into kindergarten, preschool at all?
Yes. So my oldest is going into kindergarten this fall. And then my middle one, it goes to preschool every day, which definitely helps.
Yeah.
And then, the baby's home with me.
Okay. So you send the 2 older ones off to preschool daycare right now?
My 5-year-old is home with me this summer. I have my niece coming over to entertain him. So
yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. Okay. That's cool. So, and you were born and raised in Lincoln?
I was, yes.
You said big family. So what's a big family?
I have 6 brothers and sisters.
Oh my gosh. So there were 7 of you?
Yep.
Holy moly, that is a big family.
Yeah.
Do you guys all kind of live in Lincoln then still?
We all do. Yeah, we do.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that is amazing. So are they able to help out, things like that then with your kids?
Definitely. We have a village and it's been very helpful. My siblings are super helpful. My both set of grandparents are always willing to help out whenever we need it. So yeah.
That is a huge lifesaver. It really is. People don't realize how important it is to have that village. And even if you don't have a family, but just having others who are able to help out and step in when you need it, to be able to have, even if it's just a break. Hey, I just need a break for my mental capacity. Because I truly think the most important thing when it comes to motherhood, entrepreneurship is taking care of yourself first. And that's hard to do, especially when you got a little one, you know.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. But so you had made the comment that you enjoy working out. So did you get back to working out yet? Because I know your little one's only 2.5 weeks.
I have not yet. I told myself I was going to start walking this week, but have not done that. I've had a busy week and weekend with work. So hopefully next week we'll start walking again. But
so what are some of the challenges that you face when it comes to motherhood and being an agent and entrepreneurship in general?
The challenges are, being an agent, you're available mostly all day. So for me, I set boundaries. When my kids are home at night, if it's not an emergency and it's nothing that needs to be done right away, then it can wait until the morning, or at least until the kids go to bed. Definitely the timing, just because it can be demanding, especially the last couple of years with how the market was and how quick it went. But yeah.
Yeah, it's very important to set those boundaries. And you've been doing this for what, 5 years? Is that right?
No, I got licensed in February of 22.
Oh, 2022.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so just a little over 2 years then.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and setting those boundaries, I think that's important for everybody to understand, especially if you're getting into real estate. And it's hard when you're first getting into it because you're new, you don't have the experience, you want to jump when somebody says jump, you want to ask how high.
Exactly.
And one of the other things that we have to keep in mind is our safety though, too. So if I remember when I first started and somebody's, hey, I'm in front of this house, can you show it to me? I'm like, yes, I will be right there. Which fortunately now we do have that app. I don't know if you utilize it for Warren, but it's an unbelievable app. I absolutely love it. And now I don't do that anymore. Now I want to make sure that they've spoke to a lender or they've at least started that process, had that conversation, especially coming up with the upcoming months. That's not something that we're going to be able to just jump and go, oh yeah, what got you into real estate to begin with? I know you said something about the classifieds.
Yeah, so I was always interested in it. And then when I graduated high school, it was after like the '08 crash. So it was like everybody that I spoke to was like, don't do it, don't do it. So kind of put it off. And then 2020, when COVID hit, I got furloughed. I was a preschool teacher. So I was at home, and I had always talked to my dad's super handy. He did a bit of construction when he was growing up. He helped his dad and stuff. So I was always poking at him like, let's flip a house. Let's try it out. And finally, I got him to do it when we were all home during COVID. So we flipped 3 houses, and then the market just shot up, and finding a house that was, a low enough price to make a profit on was difficult. So we stopped flipping, and one of my good friends, actually, she had said that she was going to get a real estate license. And I was like, gosh, I've always thought about it, but just never took it seriously. And then she's like, you should do it. And then I did it. So here we are. And
Did you go back to teaching at all?
I was doing it part-time during flipping and when I was doing the classes and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I got my license in February of 22, and I quit my job in March of 22 and went all in. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
You sound a lot like me because when I got into real estate, I was actually a case manager for mentally ill adults. So not teaching, but almost.
Right. Similar.
Yeah. And then when I decided to do it, we actually started off by flipping properties. We had done that for about a year and a half. And then in 2018 is when I decided to get my real estate license. And I did the same thing. I did my classes while I was working full time, had 2 little ones, traveling. I actually did in-person classes. I don't know if they do anymore. And then, I passed my test and I was like, okay, I'm doing this full time. And I'll never forget getting to the first day on the job, sitting in my little cubicle and thinking, okay, now what?
Now what? Yeah.
I remember that like it was yesterday because I had this idea that, and this was before leads, this was before all of that. So I had this idea that there's going to be this list of sellers and these list of buyers, and I could just pick and choose whoever I wanted. It's not like that.
Nope.
It's not like that at all.
No.
So I think that was one of the biggest challenges for me is really having to get out there and grind and put yourself out there and try and get business. So you have to establish trust from people. And it went really well. I loved it. I was able to close on my very first transaction within about 40 days. And so it went really well. And I had already created a network of people by doing the flips and stuff, but it was definitely hard. It wasn't easy by any means.
Yeah, getting started is it's intimidating too. But that was definitely a struggle. I've been here my whole life, which I think helps out. And my family knows a bunch of people, which I think is also super helpful. Not what you know too. Yeah, that's been, good for
That's
me.
very true. I've always said that it's not what you know, it's who you know, because they
Exactly.
have to be able to like, know, and trust you before they want to
Yep.
do business with you. But
Mhm.
I also found that, especially getting into real estate, your sphere is almost the hardest to convert, especially at first, because
Mhm.
it is the number one, well, one of the largest investments that people will make in their entire life. And by doing so, they're going to want to work with somebody who has the experience, who has the knowledge, and knows that they will be taken care of through the process.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I think trying to convert your sphere, especially as a new agent, is very hard and a little bit, I don't know. I don't want to say not degrading, but can definitely be a little bit off-putting because you
Mhm.
take things personal and people
Yeah.
are making business decisions, not personal decisions. And so it gets to be a little bit tough on your mental health when family and friends are choosing somebody else. But you
Yep.
also have to realize like they're making these decisions what they feel is going to be best for them and their family, and it's not a
Exactly.
personal reason for the most part.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's
I
very
remind myself that I can't sell every house. So it's, yeah, that's
I would
helped me.
love to. I would try
Right?
to,
Yeah.
but for my
It would
mental
be
health and
hard.
my
Yeah.
family, not so
Mhm.
much.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are some of the other challenges that you have come across? You said boundaries, you like to set boundaries. When you're setting those boundaries, what does a normal day prior to giving birth look like for you?
Well, I get up and get my kids going and ready for school. And then I come home, I change, and then I go to the gym. And then I'd come home, I'd get social media done for the day, check out local listings, and then go to my listings and see what needs to be done and what buyers need looked at and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have lunch, and then I get back on, try to just get back on, do some more social media and stuff. And then it's time to pick the kids up and yeah, come home. If I have stuff to do, I'll get it done. If not, then hang out with the family.
Yeah, I think it's important to definitely always be networking and prospecting, whether it's on social media or in person. And I kind of joke that somebody had asked me if I never did real estate, if I could never do real estate again, what would I do? I feel like I would be a philanthropist. I would just give my time away
There
but
you go.
real estate has allowed me to be able to give back my time to other nonprofit organizations, give back to the community through
Mhm.
volunteering on the chamber board, being a Commodore. But I love those things because it does connect you with the right people. But staying consistent with those things is extremely
Mm.
important because just because you're involved in something doesn't mean that people will automatically start using you because you're volunteering your time. Like you still have to
Yeah.
build those connections, you still have to build those relationships, and you still want to prove and show people that you are very knowledgeable and experienced and you know what you're talking about and you know the area. So it's staying consistent with all of the things that you are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now, does your husband work then?
Yes.
He does
Boyfriend.
work?
Yep.
Oh, boyfriend. Okay. Okay. Your boyfriend works. And then, and is he an entrepreneur as well? Or how does that whole
No, he
dynamic work?
actually works for the road. So he does striping, road striping, which is, of course, their busy season is when our busy season starts in the summer and through the fall. So yeah, it gets crazy around here, but
Yeah.
mhm.
So how do you balance? I know you said setting boundaries, but have you been able to figure out any other good ways or things that you can share with our listeners on how to set those boundaries without feeling guilty or feeling bad?
Uh,
I know it's kind
I
of a loaded
think
question, hard to explain, but I don't, yeah, just elaborate on that a little bit more.
I know that like when I have things planned, starting out, it was hard if I had something planned and then I had someone say, "Can I go see a house?" There were times where I would cancel and I'd say, "Okay, we can go." But for me now, it's if I have something planned, it's in my calendar. It's an appointment. Like, no, I can't do that right now because I have an appointment, especially if it's like a baseball game for my son, stuff like that. So just sticking to that and knowing that you don't always have to drop everything and run. I mean, obviously, if it's offers are going to be submitted in a couple hours, we need to go see it, then it's different. But
Yeah.
if it's not an emergency, I like to stick to it. I keep my plans as they are and go from there. So,
Yeah, I like that idea. I don't know what people did without Google Calendars, to be
yeah.
honest. I really don't because if it's in my calendar, it's going to happen. If it's not in my
Yep.
calendar, it's not going to happen. But the same thing with you is that I put my kids' activities, my family photos, activities, whatever in my calendar as an appointment, because I have found though, like I've gotten to the point where, oh no, I'm not able to. I have my daughter's softball game, baseball game, son, whatever, all of those things. But I still, if there's certain people, I'll say, oh, I have an appointment at that time.
Yep.
So like yesterday, a group of us mompreneurs, we decided to take the afternoon off, get together and give back to ourselves and to each other. And I had somebody who was like, no, we need to get over there. We need to do this. I showed it to them in the house a little bit earlier. And like, can you show it to us again at this time? I can't. I can do it tomorrow morning, but I am out all afternoon. As I told you yesterday and again today, I am not available. And I think the younger, newer version of myself would have dropped my plans and said, hey, you know what? I'm not able to make it. But it gets to the point where you have to set those boundaries and you have to stick with them. It's just like anything else when you're creating habits and you're creating discipline. When you put that on there, like you need to stick to it, because it's a domino effect. If you don't take care of yourself, you're not going to be able to take care of your clients and your family and all of those things.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And you said you like working out. Is that something that's been pretty important to you most of your life?
It has. Yeah. I got into working out probably the past 10 years, and I got super consistent with it the past couple of years. And with my middle child, I did really good and stuck to staying in the gym, most of my pregnancy. And so that was good. This time around, not so much. Chasing around a 1-year-old and a 5-year-old while pregnant was workout enough for me. So
yes,
I am excited to get back into the gym, but
yeah,
in the next couple of weeks. So
it does make a difference when you have that consistency. It's like going on vacation. When you don't have that consistency, you almost look forward to getting back home and getting back into the routine of things. That's how I am anyway. But I have found out, like with my workouts, I have to do it early in the morning before my kids even get up. Yeah. Especially, otherwise it doesn't happen, because there's usually things that come up during the day. How people stick to a workout in the afternoon is beyond me, because I know something's going to come up and I'm not going to be able to make it there. So I get up. During the school year, I'm up at like 4:15, 4:30. In the summer, It's been a little bit later. It's been more like 5:30 and things like that. But I still realize that I have to stick with it, just like everything else. It's in my calendar. I need to do it. If I don't, it kind of like throws the rest of my day off.
Yeah.
And I think it's so important that people do take care of themselves, because like I said before, I mean, it's a domino effect. If you're not taking care of yourself, you can't take care of your family, you can't take care of your mental health very well, and then you're not going to be able to be the best business owner and realtor that you can be.
Exactly. Yeah.
So where do you see like your business going? Where are you wanting to take your business? Do you put a plan in place? And do you have a vision every day or every year? Do you kind of reevaluate that? What does that look like for you?
So yeah, every year I get together with my brokers and go over goals and stuff. Really what I would just like to get to is like a referral business, 100%. I've had quite a few referrals already, and it's a huge compliment for someone to work with you and then refer you to someone else. So that's really my goal, is to have a 100% referral-based business, not having to go chase leads or anything like that. And
yeah. And how do you stay in touch with your past clients? Do you feel like you do a pretty good job of staying in touch with them, or do you need to like get better at that?
Definitely something that I could get better at. I have a CRM that I'm not utilizing as much as I should, but social media helps a lot. I have most of my past clients on there. So just, going to their posts and just, sending them a happy birthday or anything like that, just touching your database, I guess, is what we like to say. But
yeah. So one thing, because they always say, it's actually cheaper to try to stay in touch with your past clients than it is to buy new leads, basically. Yeah. I feel like I do a pretty good job. Last year, I had about 65 to 70% of referrals and past clients. So I would say that's a very good. I'm still always marketing and networking, because you want to stay top of mind on social media too, not only for your other clients and referrals and stuff like that, but obviously new ones too. But I feel that I do a pretty good job. If you can write this down, whatever you want, but it's called TPM.com. And you can it's called a follow-up plan. So you basically just add in your contacts, and it's $25, or I think the price went up a little bit, so it might be $30, but they send out 4 mail pieces to those clients for 5 years. You pay up front, and it'll automatically be sent out to them. And I actually just got my hair done, and I saw the newsletter. She was sitting there, she was reading it. She enjoys getting them. It's just, they do like 2 postcards and 2 newsletters, might have some recipes in it. But yeah, you set it and forget it. And that's just another point of contact that they get a mail piece 4 times a year for 5 years. And then you can always, like, let's say they change, because I've had clients obviously in between there who have changed addresses. So you can go in there and you can edit that. So then instead of paying for a whole new one, you just edit their address and they'll continue to get it for the next. And you can obviously renew if it's been more than 5 years since you set them up, which most of are not most. But some of mine are coming up on needing to be renewed. So you can just renew it and keep that going. So that's a huge thing that I feel has been a benefit. I also have a few other things kind of set up that way. I have it's called AM cards. And you can get it set up to where they receive, I set it up to where like after 1 week, they receive a card. After, I think it's 3 months, they receive a card also asking them for a Google review. After 6 months, they receive a card. And then after 1 year, they receive a card and they receive brownies. So it's like a happy 1-year anniversary. Here's some brownies, enjoy your day, things like that. So you set it up right after closing and then it automatically kind of like set it and forget it kind of thing. So those are some things that I've done in addition to client appreciation events and whatnot, but we do those about 4 times a year and maybe a few other things throughout the year as well.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's just trying to find ways to stay in touch with your past clients. My coach always says that you need at least 4 mail pieces, which I think I have like almost 8, go out to my past clients. And then you're supposed to have like 4 phone calls a year, which that comes into play if you're doing those client appreciations. And then obviously those email drip campaigns as well. So those are all like huge things that it's easier to go towards, past clients and referrals versus chasing new clients and trying to build that trust and all of that.
Exactly. Yeah.
So do you do your own social media then?
I do. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So I noticed that I liked your vibe and your social media presence and stuff like that. So I'm not very good at social media. So
I had a very good teacher to help get me set up and do that. And the Facebook, you can set it and forget it. Like you said, you can, do weeks in advance. So that's helpful when I get time to sit down and actually put all that together. But
put some content together.
Yep.
Yeah. It's probably getting back into it now after you had a baby 2.5 weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly. I did have social media up until the week after. And now I'm like, all right, I need to sit down and get that going again.
Yeah, because it's not that immediate right afterwards. You start feeling the pain a month, 2 months into it,
Yeah, exactly.
Because what you do now doesn't affect you now. It affects you in a month, 2 months.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So no, that's awesome. And so are you on a team or?
No. So I am with the 1867 Collective. We opened in October of 21. So we're like a smaller boutique brokerage. Yeah. And we have about 20-ish agents with us right now. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And then what brought you to them? I guess I had never heard of them before.
Yes. So one of the brokers, Rachel, she actually went to school with my older brother. So when we were flipping homes, she showed us a couple houses and I had just kind of said, I'm thinking about getting my license. And she said, well, do it. I'm actually opening my own brokerage. So you'll have to come chat with me once you get your license. Yeah. And I met with her a couple times when I was going through the schooling and I don't know. I knew that they were where I needed to be. I had a friend of mine or friends of mine who were like, I interview with a couple brokerages just so you know. And I'm like, I don't need to. I don't know. I knew it and I'm really happy with where I'm at. I love my brokers. I love all the agents I'm with and they've been really good teachers. I feel like real estate is something that you can get thrown into and not have a lot of help right away. Yeah. And I don't feel like that at all. I've been I have really good people on my team. Yeah.
And I think that's what people do need to realize, that it's not always about just like an offer. It's not always about the price. It's about the terms, So people have to keep that in mind. Like culture and community and relationships can be a make or break, not only in entrepreneurship, but just any business and any job in general. Because if you hate going to work, but you're good at your job and you like your job, but you hate going to work because of the culture and stuff, it's not sustainable. You're not going to thrive. You're not going to do your best because even if you love the work that you do, but you hate the culture and the environment, it's still going to bring you down. You're not going to be able to optimize your fullest potential whatsoever.
Agreed. Yeah.
So yeah, it's very important to obviously have that culture and that commitment and the community of people who are there to help you, especially when you have a baby, because your time is not always as flexible.
No. Yeah, they've been great. They've been great. They know that I have stuff going on. They're like, tell us if you need us to do anything, but I'm really bad at passing my work off. If it's something that I can do and I can sit down and do it at home, then I'm going to do it. But they've been great. So
yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome. So what is one piece of advice that you would maybe give to somebody who's thinking about jumping into entrepreneurship, or even one piece of advice that you would give to your younger self who just started?
Younger self, I would have told myself to go for it earlier, prior to kids. I feel would have been a little bit easier, but I didn't go that route.
Yep. Someone
who's going to get started is, it can be intimidating, but you have to believe in yourself, consistency. And I definitely think like starting out with a brokerage that will have your back and will help you when you have questions and give you the tools that you need to start out is definitely important.
Yeah. And find your tribe, find those people. And you may not always make the right decision from the beginning, but you're not set in stone and you can change. Change is always hard. So changing is very difficult. I recently changed a little over a year ago. Hardest decision I ever made in my entire life. I cried a lot before and after and during all of the things. But you're not set in stone. But yeah, I mean, it is good to talk to other people. But I like how you said just go for it and believe in yourself, because nobody's going to be there to rescue you. Nobody's going to be there to pull you up. Even if you do have a good team, it still comes back to you. And you have to have undeniable faith and belief that you are able to succeed.
Yes, agreed.
Absolutely. Well, awesome, Bri. I appreciate you being here and talking to us about your journey into real estate and about your kids and everything that you're doing. So if anybody needs to get a hold of you or they want to reach out to you and work with you, how can they get a hold of you?
So I do have a Facebook page, Bri Brestel Realtor. My phone number, should I give that out?
Yeah, if you're comfortable with it, absolutely.
Phone number is 402-570-5881. That's probably the best way to reach me. Text or call. Either way, it doesn't matter.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Bri, for being here.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. And that wraps up another inspiring episode of the Real Moms Podcast. A huge thank you to our incredible guests for sharing their story and insights today. If you found value in today's conversation, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And hey, sharing is caring, right? Share this podcast with your fellow mompreneurs, friends, and anyone who you feel could use a dose of inspiration. Share it on your social media as well. But most importantly, if you found this episode helpful, please, please, please leave me a 5-star review. This helps get our information out to those who have never heard or seen us before. Are you feeling inspired and you're sure that you could add some value to the podcast? Shoot me a message and let's talk. We love hearing from you. So connect with us on social media. Tag me at Shay J Spitz. That's ShaeJSpitz. And share your thoughts and takeaways, or even suggest topics you'd like to have us explore more in the future episodes. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. Your resilience is your strength, and your pursuit of abundant living is truly remarkable. As always, keep thriving, keep growing, and keep embracing the beautiful chaos of being a mompreneur. Until next time, take care, stay real, and keep living abundantly.